Welcome to the Fireside Chats, everyone. Steve Carter here, and I'm so excited for Easter. I don't know, I just get so excited about what this season represents and what it means. But one of the things I'm most excited about is that Christ Church is doing a silent Saturday service. And I've never heard of a silent Saturday service before. I've never been a part of a church that has done a silent Saturday. I think we're really good at jumping from Friday to Sunday, but many of us live in that silent Saturday space, kind of the in-between when it comes to just the pain of Friday and the glory of Sunday. We kind of live in the in-between, and it's unfortunate because I don't know if we've really ever trained those spiritual muscles for when our life enters a desert season. And so if that's you, I hope that you would consider to join us. The Pastor Rick Lyman and myself and a couple of others are going to be leading out on that service. It's going to be a time of prayer for anyone who's just like in the in-between. Maybe you've just lost a loved one, or you have received some medical information, or you find yourself at the end of a relationship, or the loss of a dream job, or whatever it is that has caused you to feel like God is silent in this Saturday. We just want to remind you the truth that Sunday is coming, but we also want to hold space and just pray for you. So it's going to be 10 a.m. the Saturday before Easter, the Saturday after Good Friday, April 19th, and I hope that you'll join us 10 a.m. At our Oak Brook location. But I also started to think about, I wonder how many of us really resonate with the idea of Saturday. I've told this story before, but I was in Israel and I saw a rabbi, and I walked up to the rabbi and ended up asking a question. I said, "Rabbi, I have a question." He says, "Yes." And I said, in the Hebrew scriptures, which is what they call the Old Testament, you have these environments: Egypt, the desert, the promised land. And I asked him, how much time do you think people spend in an average person's life in each one of those three environments? And I'll never forget, the rabbi just said, "You Americans are so funny. You think everything is up and to the right, but not us. We think 10 to 15% of our life is in Egypt, where we get what we don't deserve, and 10 to 15% of our life is in the promised land, where we get more than we deserve. And then the remaining 70 to 80% is learning how to wander well in the desert." And I just think about that we, and so many people, whenever I ask, Egypt, desert, promised land, or in Holy Weekend terms, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, how many people feel like they are in Egypt or Friday? 10 to 15% of the hands go up. How many feel like they're in the promised land or Easter, the surprise of Sunday? 10 to 15% of the hands come up. And the majority is always in the in-between, in the Saturday, in the desert. And I just wonder, for many of us, that what happens to us when we find ourselves in that in-between? What happens when we find ourselves just not experiencing the vision or version of Sunday just yet? And I think about people like Joseph, who went from a pit to Potiphar's house, to prison, to Pharaoh's palace. And that beautiful line in Genesis 50, "What you intended to harm, God used for good," and many lives were saved. And what you're walking through right now, I just want you to know that song, Waymaker, that says, even when you don't see it, he's working. Even when you don't feel it, he's working. He never stops working. Romans 8:28, God works all things together for the good. He's working for you. And I've known that verse, but honestly, I feel like I know that verse now, deeply. Just even being at Christ Church, it's like I wake up every day, I just say thanks be to God. I feel like I won the church lottery, being here with you all, and it's amazing. But it took 7 years to experience a version of Sunday. And I think the learning to wait, and like we talked about this past weekend, to those 3 essentials to keep the main thing. You got to trust the pruning. You got to trust the process. You got to trust the promise, and it will become a good bottle of wine. And so here's to all of you that are in Saturday, and just want you to know we see you. And we're going to hold space for you on Silent Saturday for all of those desert dwellers and wanderers in this season. We got you. We're going to be praying for you, and you're going to be praying for us, and it's going to be really, really beautiful. So I'll see you this weekend. Got a great service. I'm so excited for what's happening over these next number of weeks as we lead into Easter. I hope you're praying for people to invite, maybe someone to the Good Friday service, maybe someone to Silent Saturday, and maybe someone to the Easter services. And they actually start Saturday evening and go through Sunday. So I'm so grateful for you all. I hope you are doing well. If I can ever pray for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. Pastor Steve at christchurch.us. Your gift, grace, and peace.